Happy holidays, everybody. My name is Mike at Filmboy24. Today, we're back at it with a little bit fresher Ektachrome 160 stock this time. We got sound stock, we have a Shin-on sound camera, and we're going to try to process it in color. Yep, you heard me right. We have, well, it's already gone, but we have a much fresher 90s version of the old Ektachrome E, or just Ektachrome 160. This is a Type A sound film. This is a still sealed one. It is a process before of 3 of 1993. Now, this is true because we all know by now, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you, that when Kodak put the film in these carts, they gave it a process by date of about 2 years from when it was manufactured. And per the Edge code, on this particular roll of film, which was an X, a plus, and an X, this particular roll of film was manufactured in 1991, which is very consistent with the 2-year rule, my own 2-year rule, on the side of the box. Now, I did a video not too awful long ago where I shot some sound film and I processed it as a black and white negative. If you want to take a peek at that, I'll put a link up here somewhere. Check that out. What I wanted to do this time was dig out, it's not hard to do because I usually just leave it sitting right over there, my Shin-on 20p XL sound camera right here. I don't think it does have batteries in it. And I wanted to load this up with this newer roll of film. And you know, I know it's not a new roll of film. I know the film is still 30 years old, but it's new in relation to what's usually out there in the 70s and 80s stuff that you usually find. And I say usually a lot, and because it's not an exact science. And usually you get better results with the newer stocks. So I popped it into my sound camera. You can see the little sound head right in the bottom. You know you have a sound camera if your compartment is extended and the very bottom here has the sound head, which takes the film from the bottom of the cartridge, not the side, and records the sound 18 frames away from the picture. So I pop it in here. I put on the stock onboard microphone, which is a shotgun microphone. Is that a microphone or never mind? And I just basically filmed stuff. I wanted someone mentioned on my last video, how about some ambient sounds, some outside, some cars, some people. And so what I did, it was Thanksgiving, and I filmed, my beautiful sister was here from Indiana, and she was here visiting me and my other beautiful sister who lives here. And we just had a great time, and we went to the mall, and I brought the Shin-on, and I filmed a little bit in the parking lot, and filmed a little bit at the front of her house, and then my wife, who had to run to work because they have a rescue dog they're trying to save, which by the time I'm showing you this video, the dog's doing great. So I filmed a little bit there. You'll see her at work. You'll see her messing with the dog, and a little bit of my little ones. So anyway, this is just a sort of there's a night shot of some traffic. There's a day shot of some traffic. It's essentially just a quick sort of mishmash of images to see if we could get, once again, halfway decent audio. And this time I wanted to process this in E6 chemicals, not my standard HC110B, which I get a black and white negative. There's been a lot of talk. I have done that before. I've processed this stuff in E6, and you always get mixed results. And there's been some talk about, and people have mentioned, Mike, why don't you do more of your found film in color chemicals? Because, and it makes sense, believe me, I'm on board with that. It's not difficult. But the problem is, the temperatures, and I'm not good at calculating a cooler temperature E6. If you know a tried and true method to cool them down to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit and use it that way, let me know in the description because I can try that as well. E6 is meant to be used at about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And with the older 160 stuff, the emulsion just doesn't hold up. It wasn't meant, it was supposed to have, the EM26 original process for this, or EM24, I'm pretty sure had a hardener in it as your first step, which would kind of harden the backing or the emulsion. Your E6 doesn't, because I guess modern Ektachrome stocks don't require it. So you run a risk when you use really hot chemicals on this old Ektachrome of melting, or sort of, yeah, literally just like melting the emulsion off. So I'm terrified I'm going to ruin a roll of found film when I think it's more important to just get the images out there, black and white or not. I am going to try it on some newer found film in the Cameraman Mike batch. Once we get to the boxed stuff, and we get to the stuff that's in the really late 80s or early 90s, I'm going to try a roll or two in E6. That's what I did here. I used E6, and it was an older E6 that I've had sitting around for a while. Already mixed. I've used it a couple times, but it's probably 6 to 8 months old. So we'll see what happens, or at least you'll see in a minute. You will get very mixed results when you process in color. I don't care who you are. You're never going to get beautiful, stunning color images out of this really old Ektachrome 160 film. At least I've never, ever seen it, and I've seen a lot of it processed in color. You're not going to get beautiful, stunning color images in this video either. So without too much more, don't you dare fall down and knock my coffee over. Let's, do this. Let me show you what I got, and we'll come right back. Now, I matched up the audio as good as I can. When you sync it up later, it can be very difficult. Even though it's sort of locked in on the cart, it's not locked in when you have to transfer it the way I do with my Elmo 912, and then do it in editing software, and I have to shrink and expand the audio to make it fit, and blah, 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 blah. Keep that in mind. Here's the film. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
She's shy. What do you guys think?
Take her for the walk. It's like you have a horn. Is he really filming? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Ooh, let me fix my hair. Happy Thanksgiving.
You get naughty on me?
Go potty. It's not really cold anymore.
What are you doing?
Cleaning this off.
Hi.
I want a pooping cat.
What else?
And I want...
You see what I mean? That's what you're going to get with this old Ektachrome 160 stock. Now, I'm not saying that's the best you're going to get. That's the best I got out of my old chemicals and the process that I use. Again, I'm not saying someone else couldn't do much, much better. I've just never seen really bright, vivid colors out of this stuff nowadays. I have in the past, although it was never a great stock, I don't think. It was a little bit muted always, so, you know, you don't get beautiful colors out of it, but I'm okay with it. Maybe a little less grain when you do it in color. Black and white, for me, is still sort of a go-to because it's almost a guarantee no matter what year that stock is. It's almost a guarantee you're going to get an image out of it. So I'm okay with black and white. I don't know how much more I'm going to do in E6 for fun, but I will do some towards the end of the Cameraman Mike batch. If you're not familiar with what that is, I obtained a large amount of Ektachrome and some Kodachrome sound film from a guy on eBay they call Cameraman Mike. Take a peek. I'll put the playlist. We're doing a playlist of all of that particular batch of film. It's sound film. So you take a peek at it. We're keeping a playlist there so you can keep up with one roll to the next. Now there's another one coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned. With that in mind, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, why don't you? We have a lot of fun here. There's a lot of cool things coming up. My wife, she's currently, well, not currently, she's at work right now, but in the works, doing a Krasnogorsk 3 light cover for my cameras. I have 2 of them, and she's making this cover. I did a basic pattern, sort of with strips of paper, and she's making a really cool cover for it. We'll see how it turns out. There's going to be some Velcro here and there where you can see the counter and where you can crank it and this and that. I will keep you updated on that as it progresses. If it doesn't progress, well, it will. If you enjoy videos like this, do me a huge favor, please, and I'll stop pointing. Just tap the like button for me. Subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. You might even hit the bell notification down there by the like button so that you'll know every time this goofball posts a brand new analog, film, or related video. That sounded weird. And until the very next time that I see each and every single one of you stunningly beautiful people, you know who you are. Perfectly steady. I'll see all of you on the very next go-around.